Today I'm excited to welcome Rosie Faith to Totally Music to chat about her musical career. Rosie Faith, welcome to Totally Music. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, thanks for having me. I'm Rosie Faith, a singer-songwriter based in the Midlands. Um, yeah, that's me.
Great to have you on. So what sparked your interest in pursuing music and how did you begin your musical journey?
Um, I've always, it's one of those cliches. I've always been into music. I came from quite a musical family. Um, my stepdad was always playing piano, the saxophone, or something. My mum, I'd hear her singing quite a lot, and later in life, found out my grandma was a hardcore singer as well. So, I think I was always gonna go down the music route. And I just loved it. It was something that felt natural. So I never even really had to think about wanting to go into music. I just did. If that makes sense.
Nice. So for anyone who hasn't heard your music, how would you describe it?
I'm still trying to decide what what sort of genre I fit in exactly, but I'm definitely in the sort of folky world. I've got the odd one or two songs that would be much more um close to the trad folk style. But then I've got songs that are more kind of pop folk, I suppose, indie folk. Teetering? No, I don't think I'd say country, Americana style. So I think that's roughly whereabouts I sit.
Nice. So can you tell us about your inspiration behind your latest project or release?
Um, at the minute, I'm trying to work on picking out some of my favourite songs to put together for an EP. Um, and what's difficult is I used to write prolifically when I was a teenager, and um, and I had quite a big gap from music. Um, like it must have been close to 10 years, I think, really out of gigging and things. And when I came back to it, and when I wanted to start writing songs again, the songs I used to write just didn't connect at all. Um, so I'm trying to piece together the songs that mean a lot to me now and represent who I am in my music now. So that's what I'm focusing on at the minute, trying to pick out a couple of songs for an EP to really kind of identify where my style is at the minute. But it's quite difficult with two babies, a toddler, and a dog to juggle around my life. So I'm finding that the process takes quite a bit of time.
So what's your creative process like when writing new songs?
I tend to find that if I'm writing a song, it's always on my own. I've tried writing alongside people before, and I don't know if I get in my own head or I don't know. Um, so I'm on my own, and something's normally sparked it.
Yeah.
But I find that my best songs are the ones that I can sit and write in one go. I always envy people who, they can write notes on their phone or in a notebook and then they come back to it and they piece a song together. Um, my brain doesn't ever want to do that. It's like, no, I guess maybe it's because sometimes the songwriting is quite cathartic for me, or I'm running with something. There was one song that took me a very long time to write, and I remember even walking. Me and my husband went on holiday, and we did the North Coast 500 around Scotland in a camper van, and I remember us talking about lyrics of a song then that I only finished last year. So I've managed it once, but normally it's like sit down. I've got my guitar, and the guitar and voice normally go hand in hand. It kind of all comes out together, I think. But yeah, if I can have a nice cold cider with me as well, that's even better.
So what's your favourite song you've written and why?
um, I think I think my favorite song, it's probably not my favorite in regards to complex they're not my most complex lyrics, they're not my most impressive guitar skills. My guitar skills are not um outstanding. My guitar accompanies my vocals, but I'm improving my guitar skills day by day, I feel. But my favorite, I think, from sort of what it meant was I wrote a song years ago. It's probably one of the only ones that's come from old Rosie Faith. It's called Roofless, and I was asked if I could write a song to support a project that the YMCA was doing for a new homeless shelter.
Yeah.
And I was 16 years old, and I was thinking, how can I write a song about being homeless? I've never been homeless. Um, I was quite privileged that I had my own house and never had to worry about that. And I managed to put this song together about what we take for granted and all the little jobs around the house that people moan about doing.
Yeah.
And I still play it a lot. Even like in my pub gigs when I'm doing cover songs, um, I'll still throw that one in when I can because I think the message is important
Yeah.
that we take a lot for granted. And I've sung that in a couple of festivals, and people who've known my music have sung it along with me as well. So I guess that's why I like that one so much. I feel like it's got a good strong meaning.
Oh, that was nice. So what's been one of your most memorable or impactful moments in your career so far?
Cool. It's a tricky one to say, sort of identifying moments. Interestingly, I think one of them is I started singing with a band, Craig Gould and the Noble Thieves.
Oh yeah.
Um, I think you know Craig.
Yeah.
So when I just kind of got back to singing. I'd only been back to music for maybe a couple of years before I met Craig, and joining the band and singing his music just kind of I felt like it was really bringing me back to finding out what I love about my music, and I feel that since joining the band, my own music has found more of its own authenticity. So I think in terms of like a moment, I think it's just been that process of working with the band has actually helped me identify my love of my own music as well. So if that sort of makes sense.
That's nice. So what's been your favourite gig to date and why?
um, I loved playing songs of St Modwin's in Burton, and that was so I was singing with the band, but I played as a solo artist, and I don't get loads of opportunities to just sing my own original stuff. I think it's the case with a lot of musicians, small scale musicians. I don't know if that's the term. A lot of the gigs I do are cover gigs to pay the bills. I'm playing the pop songs that people want to sing in a pub, but it was one where I could play my own songs, my favorite songs. I always say that my music is about love, loss, and social justice. And I felt it was a fantastic environment to sing those songs that I've written that have got meaning behind them that are supporting social justice in an absolutely gorgeous setting of this. I can't remember how old this church is, um, but it was just a beautiful old church, and we had fairy lights, and it was just gorgeous. The sound was phenomenal, and then of course I got to follow that by singing with the band as well. So it was just such a lovely gig. Yeah, it was quite special that.
It sounds special. So if you could perform anywhere in the world, where would it be and why?
Oh, I'd love to play at the Minack Theatre down in Cornwall. I saw a show there when I was a child, and I would just I just love it. It's just on the right kind of day. I mean, I could not do a sunny day like the weather we've been having lately. I am redhead, so I cannot be in the sun that long. But yeah, it's just a gorgeous setting, isn't it? And I'd love to play there.
Nice. So finally, what's next for you?
Working on the EP, finishing a couple of songs. There's a couple of songs where, that are just sitting there waiting for me to find the time to come out. Um, and I want to get some of those finished up. And yeah, just working on the EP and just trying to get around doing more original gig music really. Because I really do love to share my own stuff, not just playing my covers. So yeah, hopefully the EP we have started recording it. We'll just see when we get it done.
Nice. Looking forward to following your journey.
Thanks.
So a massive thank you to Rosie Faith for joining me on Totally Music. If anyone would like to check out her music, I'll leave all the links in the description below for you. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.